Toxic work environments are very common. This is a subject that comes up a lot. I've addressed it several times in writing. It's on my website. If you go to getdoolin.com, there's several articles written under my gratitude series about toxic work environments. And this is on LinkedIn almost every day. Somebody's posting something about a toxic work environment. Either they're a part of one, they were a part of one, um, or they just got fired or quit from one. And there's a normal process, almost like a grieving process, when you leave an environment that's super toxic or even mildly toxic, that you want to lash out, that you want to go post something somewhere, that you want to just feel vindicated that you were a victim. Normal, absolutely normal. The best advice I can give you is don't do it. And I say this because, at least here in the United States, we currently live in a very litigious society, um, and you can get sued for things you say about a company, and vice versa. A company can get sued for things they say about a former employee. So just as much as the former company can't do it, I don't think the employee should do it either. More importantly, if you look beyond the legal ramifications of the things that you put in writing or the things that you say out loud, your reputation is at stake. Future employers are going to look at that. They're going to see what you've posted about a former employer, and whether you like it or not, and whether they'll ever admit it or not, they're going to use that decision against hiring you. And it's real easy for an employer to dismiss you as not a good fit. So putting all that aside, toxic work environments suck. And there's a whole other series that can be done about what causes a toxic work environment, the type of personalities that go into it. That's not what this is about. What this is about is, how should you handle a toxic work environment? How should you avoid one? So the first advice I always give to anybody who's currently in a toxic work environment is try to handle it. Try to talk your way through it. Try to build a relationship with the people that are causing the toxicity. It all depends on where it's coming from. If you have a toxic coworker, that's a lot easier to solve than a toxic boss or a toxic owner. In most cases, the person who is bringing that to the workplace doesn't realize that's who they are. They're hurting. Something is causing them to be like that. And getting to the root cause of that, utilizing some emotional intelligence skills, can help to diffuse some of it. I don't think it'll ever go away. In fact, I've never seen it always go away, because generally, if someone's bringing toxicity into the workplace, it's a part of their personality. They are the type of person that sees the worst in people, sees the worst in the world, finds the glass that's half empty. So you really have to deal with this yourself. You've got to develop some self-coping skills to get through this. What I recommend is you have to know who you are. You have to know your methods of how you're going to process information. And for me personally, I'll tell you, I am trying to adapt a concept of assuming the best of intentions. Someone may act like a jerk. Someone may spread rumors. Someone may bring that toxic air into the workplace, but I want to assume they don't mean to. I want to assume that they've got the best of intentions. I want to assume that they want to be a good human, but they've been hurt. They've been, traumatized by outside forces that you have no control over. So what I do is I try to take a step back and I try to say to myself, they aren't intending to be that way. I can help them. And utilize communication skills, utilize relationship building skills. When all of that fails, sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to look for that next opportunity. Sometimes you just have to quit. I've seen people posting about how no amount of money is ever worth a toxic work environment. And here's what I can tell you from a guy who was in one and who left. It's easy for me to say. It's real easy for me to say to you, oh, no amount of money is worth it. But the reality is that mortgage check, that rent check, that car payment, those groceries, that takes money to buy. it's not as easy to walk away from a toxic situation as it is to make a meme about walking away from a toxic situation. So we have to be able to work through these situations, and there are some cases when there's proper protocols in place for you to report and address those behaviors that are coming out of that toxic person. But in some cases, you just can't, because that toxic person is actually in charge. That toxic person might be the owner of the company, and there there's no system in place for you to address that. So this is why I strongly believe you have to address it by being a better human yourself. You have to address it by killing them with kindness and just refusing to stoop to that level. Some of the abuse is going to cause trauma. Some of the abuse that you're dealing with, the toxic atmosphere, is going to cause you pain that you have to carry for a while because it's hard to shake it off. But you've got to shake it off. I've got some techniques that I've used. I've studied a lot of emotional intelligence to help me get through these situations, because you're going to come across toxic personalities in almost everything you do. It's human nature. Some people are just not happy. So when you're looking for a new company, there's a few things I do recommend. There's all types of tools out there that you can use to research your company. There's websites that allow people to give anonymous feedback. You should read those reviews, but you have to be cautious, because a lot of those are filled out within the first 24 to 48 hours of someone leaving a company. And I hate to use the excuse of disgruntled employee, but unfortunately, some people are mad when they fill those out. And so you're not getting real accurate, thought out feedback. You're getting emotional feedback. I will tell you, I one time accepted a job after reading countless online reviews that were horrible. But what I did was I had a different experience. And so I allowed myself to convince myself that all of those online reviews were just disgruntled employees. I unfortunately found out that those online reviews were very accurate. Um, so, I don't want you to think I'm standing here as the, sharer of wisdom. I've actually experienced this. I've actually made these mistakes. I actually want to help you to not make those mistakes. So, do your research. There are many ways of doing it. Specifically today in the digital age, there's not a lot of companies out there that can have these toxic work environments and get away with it. There's not a lot of companies. Sometimes a lot of smaller companies, maybe a startup, can have some of these problems and they don't get reported. But even that is really hard, because almost every employee has a cell phone. Almost every employee has access to the internet, and you can do some quick Google searches. TikTok videos will pop up, Instagram videos, just YouTube videos will pop up, like the one that you're watching now, that will that kind of serve as a gotcha photo or a gotcha video for some of this behavior. So what I'd like to ask is, if you're watching this right now and you've got some techniques that you have tried, post them in the comments of this video to help some other people potentially avoid the downfall of taking a role with a toxic organization, and consider it a way of paying it forward to those folks who may not know some of the tools that you know of that can help research these organizations. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope that you have subscribed to my channel, and if you've hit the bell, I'll do my best to not annoy you every time I upload a video. But I do appreciate you watching this. I do appreciate your support. I hope this video has helped you. If it has, please like, comment, share, and help get the message out to others. Have a great day.